Hollywood's most prominent performers frequently fade too soon. But a few legends defy time and the odds to live exceptional lives far into their senior years. This film honors the oldest superstars who have survived the golden age of cinema and continue inspiring generations with their perseverance and ageless appeal. These living icons illustrate that Hollywood magic is ageless, from the indomitable Angie Dickinson, still turning heads, to other legendary actresses who have remained relevant and cherished by fans worldwide. As we examine the lives of these exceptional people who remain as legendary as they were in their heyday, you will be astounded. Bob Newhart, 94 years old. Throughout his career, Bob Newhart has consistently captured the attention of new generations and won their admiration. He is the ideal illustration of this. Initially, he gained popularity through his comedy monologue album and his appearance on the sitcom The Bob Newhart Show. Later on, in the 21st century, people who had never heard of Bob before likely recognized him from the sitcom The Big Bang Theory or the Christmas film Elf. With a career spanning 6 decades, he is unquestionably a unique talent. Still, it's incredible to think he's in his 90s. Maggie Smith has achieved so much at 89 years old. Dame Maggie Smith is one of the most well-known figures to come out of the UK. Her career spans well beyond the previous few decades, back to the 1950s. She has had several notable parts in the 21st century alone, from the historical drama Downton Abbey to the fantasy Harry Potter film series. Her career took off thanks to films like the romantic drama A Room with a View, the comedy California Suite, and the drama The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie. Smith has won nominations for Academy Awards for 2 of those films and 1 for the first 2. Now that she is 88, we assume she still values those accomplishments. David Attenborough still devotes himself to his documentaries at 98. With David Attenborough, nature programs are nearly the same. The British television personality aspires to inspire and educate audiences back home with as many films on animals and the broader globe. We're still determining whether he ever thought that his job on TV would make him so well known, however. He continues to put in much effort, whether in speeches, publications, or films he narrates. Since turning 98 this year, he may embark on fewer adventures than he always did. He continues to try to inform those receptive to this magnificent world. Clint Eastwood's Western successes are still paying off at 94. It is rare for audiences to come to identify a whole film genre with a single individual. On the other hand, Clint Eastwood has become so iconic in the Western films and television series he has starred in that he almost personifies the genre. The Western television series Rawhide, which ran from 1959 to 1965, seems to be the origin of it all. Following that, he established himself as the leading man in Western films, and his popularity in them led to him landing further jobs in Hollywood. As a consequence, he's still active in the sector. Not bad for a 94-year-old, since Eastwood just directed the neo-Western drama Cry Macho, and is also directing the forthcoming thriller Juror Number 2. Jane Fonda's career isn't slowing down at 86. You wouldn't assume from looking at Jane Fonda that she would be 86 years old in 2023. That being said, the star has been around for a while. Her birthday is December 1937. The actress, who first gained notoriety in the 1960s with several comedic films, has had a successful career for many years. She is a passionate lady who has never shied away from expressing her mind and even getting into trouble. Thankfully, however, it hasn't ruined her career. In 2023 alone, Fonda starred in many films. 80 for Brady, a sports comedy, was one of Hollywood's best examples of the new breed of older female talent. Lily Tomlin is still all about acting at 85. In the 1960s, Lily Tomlin started doing stand-up comedy. It's still being determined whether she imagined her career would last as long as it has. If not, however, and we're happy she was mistaken, she's among the funniest celebrities Hollywood has ever produced. That's clear from all of the awards she has received. Tomlin won a Tony, an Emmy, and even a Grammy for her comedy CD back in the 1970s. It seems like she's been nominated for every major award in the business. Her most recent roles have kept her active. At age 85, she has been seen in the animation series The Magic School Bus Rides Again and the comedy series Grace and Frankie. Shirley MacLaine has achieved a 7-decade-long career at 90. Some individuals scarcely hold one job for more than a few years before moving on to the next. However, Shirley MacLaine's 7 decades-long career attests to her genuine devotion to her art. Given her brilliance on screen, she has won 6 Golden Globes, an Oscar, and an Emmy for her acting. It's unsurprising. Her most well-known performances are in the drama The Turning Point, the dramedy Steel Magnolias, and the black comedy The Trouble with Harry. She has also released several books and appeared in more recent TV series, such as the historical drama Downton Abbey and the musical dramedy Glee. At 90, is there any chance she may slow down? Barbara Eden will always be Jeannie to some people, even at 92. No matter what else they do in their careers, certain celebrities will consistently be recognized for a single part. In the fantasy comedy I Dream of Jeannie, Barbara Eden played the genie, Jeannie, a role that made her famous in the 1960s and continues to keep her relevant today. Naturally, this is not Eden's sole accomplishment. In the past decade, she has gone on to land parts in movies and television shows, including the drama Army Wives and the comedy Harper Valley PTA. She has also provided voices for children's television and published a biography detailing her life. But to many of her followers, she's still Jeannie, even at 92. Sophia Loren's career is quieter but still thriving at 89. The American Film Institute honored some of the most well-known figures in American film history with its 100 Years, 100 Stars list issued in 1999. That list includes Sophia Loren, the sole celebrity still living. Hopefully, this will continue for many years to come since Loren is 89 years old. According to reports, Sophia's career began when she was persuaded to enroll in acting classes after winning a beauty competition. When she was a teenager, she started acting in movies, and by the middle of the 1950s, she had landed a big deal with Paramount. The rest is essentially history, though Loren continues to work periodically. In 2021, she even had a documentary made about her. Warren Buffett's immense fortune makes being 93 much easier. Few people can honestly say they own one of the most enormous fortunes in history. Warren Buffett, however, has an estimated net worth of $117 billion. That reportedly places him in 5th place, a remarkable achievement for the Berkshire Hathaway CEO. His years of wise investing have paid off. Since Buffett is 93 this year, it's reasonable to assume he won't have financial difficulties as he ages. But it doesn't imply the guy is prepared to do nothing for the rest of his life. He continues to provide wise counsel to people aspiring to be in his shoes. Judi Dench has frequently had a Shakespeare connection over her 89 years. Like several others of her age, Dame Judi Dench concentrated on theater before moving on to TV and movies. Before she gained broader recognition from films like Goldeneye, an espionage thriller, and the romantic drama A Room with a View, she was most recognized for her performances of Shakespeare's plays. Things only continue getting better after that. In her 89 years, Dench has received 8 Academy Award nominations. She won one of these nominations for her performance in the historical romance Shakespeare in Love. Considering the beginning of her career, winning such a prestigious award for a Shakespeare-themed film felt appropriate. Unfortunately, her previous nominations were not successful. George Hamilton is probably best remembered for his commercials at 84. The filmography of George Hamilton speaks for itself. He's been working on many projects since his career in the 1950s, including the political drama The Congressman and Home from the Hill. Nevertheless, after all these years, he's still connected to one character in particular. Because of his well-known advertisements for Ritz crackers, many people associate the 84-year-old with the snack. These may not have brought him a Golden Globe Award, unlike the drama film Crime and Punishment, USA, but they seem to have significantly influenced many spectators. Warren Beatty has over a dozen Academy Award nominations at 87. In Hollywood, many would rather live their whole lives in front of the camera, starring in one film after another. Conversely, some individuals diversify their skills and take on positions in front of and behind the camera. One individual like this is Warren Beatty. His writing and directing credits are as well known as his performing credits. Beatty, now 87 years old, has received an astounding 14 Academy Awards nominations, although just 4 were for Best Actor. Being one of the most versatile talents in the business, he has also been nominated for Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Original Screenplay throughout the years. Nor does he seem to be ready to give up just yet. Chuck Norris has a lot to be proud of now. He's 84. It isn't easy to believe that Chuck Norris is 84 years old in 2024. Although the guy doesn't seem to be from 1940, we can't conceive that he would want to lie about this. Even though Norris's profession was once more active, he sometimes appears in commercials. Naturally, Norris can establish his worth later. He established 2 significant martial arts schools throughout his career and accomplished the remarkable feat of going from Air Force veteran to martial arts champion to famous movie actor. Although it came out in 2012, his final movie was a success, much like his previous ones. Rita Moreno is 91 and still one of the only EGOTs around. Only a few celebrities from Hollywood's golden age of film survive today, but Rita Moreno does. She is 92, adding another year to her fabulous 7 decades in the spotlight. She is among the few individuals in history to have won an Oscar, Tony, Grammy, and Emmy. In addition to her EGOT triumph, she has received a Peabody Award, a Kennedy Center honor, and the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Furthermore, she doesn't seem to be slowing down. 2023, the actress will be seen in the action thriller Fast X and the sports comedy picture 80 for Brady. That conduct is legendary. Paul Hogan is still remembered for Crocodile Dundee at 83. Paul Hogan has had a challenging film career compared to some of the oldest superstars. He has had just a handful of jobs since the 1970s. But the image he's most recognized for, in which Hogan plays Michael J., is also very iconic. The character Crocodile Dundee from the 1986 action comedy movie Crocodile Dundee. In addition to receiving a Golden Globe for Best Actor for the film, Paul was nominated for an Oscar for Best Script thanks to his creative talents. Even though he is 83 years old, his performance from the 1980s will always be remembered because of the movie's continued renown, which led to a part in the 2020 comedy film, the very excellent Mr. Dundee. Pat Boone's musical achievements still hold up now he's 89. Competing with Elvis Presley in the 1950s was a challenging task. At the time, many vocalists had to settle for second place on the charts due to the overwhelming dominance of the king of rock and roll. Pat Boone is well aware of this, as his several well-loved successes made him seem to be the second biggest charting musician of the late 1950s. He was the record holder for the longest-running streak on the Billboard charts for many years, with 220 weeks. Even though he may no longer hold the record, it doesn't take away from his impressive musical career. Regretfully, he didn't release new songs anymore at the age of 89, although he still performed occasional acting, such as in the family film A Cowgirl's Story. Marla Gibbs might be 92, but she's not ready to stop acting yet. Given that Marla Gibbs is 92, we wouldn't blame her if she felt ready to give up acting. However, she is still fully committed to her work. Her most recent roles have been in the comedy film A Snowy Day in Oakland, the medical drama Grey's Anatomy, and the soap opera Days of Our Lives. She has been able to continue getting acting work since her breakthrough performance in the 1970s and 1980s when she played Florence Johnston in the sitcom The Jeffersons. She appeared in over 200 episodes, was nominated for multiple Primetime Emmys, won an NAACP Image Award, and made an impression back then. Her career was defined by it. Mel Brooks can celebrate his EGOT status as a 97-year-old. Mel Brooks is one of only 18 persons who have won an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony, making him an EGOT. It took him almost 35 years to do this. In 1967, he won an Emmy, and in 2001, a Tony. Brooks won 3 of the latter, the former for Outstanding Writing Achievement in Variety. The Producers, a musical for which he had previously directed the 1967 film, won him Best Musical, Best Book of a Musical, and Best Original Score. Mel, now 97 years old, should be quite proud of the 7 decades he has spent writing and directing. Even though there has been some criticism around his art, it is nonetheless legendary. Jocelyn Wildenstein's life has calmed down somewhat, now she's 82. Jocelyn Wildenstein's claim to fame is perhaps one of the most strange things that the oldest surviving celebrities are famous for. The socialite from Switzerland enjoys cosmetic surgery and has had several surgeries done during her lifetime. She supposedly wanted a cat-like look, which is the outcome of all her treatment. She experienced a turbulent divorce from Alec Wildenstein, her ex-husband, and used some of his money for these surgeries. She did, however, get $2.5 billion from the split, along with an additional $100 million for 13 years. Thus, it had advantages. Regretfully, based on her 2018 bankruptcy petition, it doesn't seem that she has supported this soon-to-be 83-year-old. Angie Dickinson continues to shine with timeless charm and talent. Angie Dickinson's name has become synonymous with Hollywood glamour and grace, her career spanning decades of unforgettable performances. Best known for her role as Sergeant Suzanne Pepper Anderson in the groundbreaking TV series Policewoman, Dickinson set a new standard for women in law enforcement roles on screen, paving the way for future generations. Her role earned her a Golden Globe and cemented her place as one of TV's most iconic stars. But Dickinson's talents weren't confined to the small screen. She also made a significant impact in film, starring alongside Hollywood legends like John Wayne in Rio Bravo and Frank Sinatra in Ocean's 11. Beyond her acting prowess, Angie Dickinson's charm and beauty have made her a beloved figure in the entertainment industry. Even as she continues to enjoy her well-deserved status as a Hollywood icon, Dickinson's legacy as a trailblazer for women in television and film remains as vibrant as ever. Buzz Aldrin's 93 years have seen some highs and lows. Few individuals can claim to have accomplished what Buzz Aldrin achieved in 1969. In July of that year, he and Neil Armstrong headed off for the moon, with Aldrin being the second person to set foot on the planet. Even at 93 and living a more sedate life, people still identify the guy with this accomplishment. In 1969, he was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom for his spaceflight accomplishments, and his memoirs are highly recommended reading. But as these novels demonstrate, Aldrin has struggled with alcoholism and melancholy throughout the years, so things haven't always been easy. Thankfully, he has support systems, including his recently announced marriage. Robert Wagner has had one standout role after the next across 93 years. Robert Wagner has played several famous roles throughout his career. He has 2 roles, one as Peterson T and the other as Alexander Monday, in the action-adventure series It Takes a Thief. Pete Ryan in the action detective series Switch. He also portrayed Jonathan Hart for 5 seasons in the mystery series Heart to Heart. More recently, he has made an impression in the police procedural series NCIS and the sitcom 2.5 Men. This isn't even counting his film roles, which include the comedic comedy The Pink Panther and the spy comedy Austin Powers. Given his age, it's no surprise that he's still getting cast in roles at 93. Iris Apfel still seems to be breaking boundaries at 101. We're thankful that Iris Apfel is still with us every day. On August 29th, she will be 102 years old, having accomplished the incredible feat of turning 100 in 2021. Not to mention that her legendary career, particularly in interior design, is something to be proud of on its own. Apfel formerly had access to more of the famous edifice than most people could ever imagine because of a contact she had with the White House that lasted for 9 presidents. Iris's fashion work has also garnered significant recognition. At the age of 97, she was signed to a modeling contract with the international agency IMG. We adore her for breaking the rules. Gene Hackman has picked up many awards over the last 93 years. At some point in their careers, many actors want to receive significant accolades as a testament to their hard work and success in the industry. Fortunately, Gene Hackman has received several honors over his 93 years of life. This comprises a Screen Actors Guild Award, 4 Golden Globes, 2 Academy Awards, 2 BAFTAs, and 2 Golden Globes. He received 2 Oscar nominations in 1971 and 1992, despite receiving 3 more. These honors came from his parts in the Western film Unforgiven and the neo-noir action thriller The French Connection. Outside of those movies, however, he's delivered many excellent performances and has even turned his hand to writing. Robert Redford has significantly contributed to his industry during his 86 years. It makes sense that Robert Redford was included in Time magazine's 2014 list of the 100 most influential persons in the world. Over his 86 years, he has achieved great success in front of and behind the camera. We also owe him a debt of gratitude for the Sundance Film Festival. Among Redford's well-known films are the drama Ordinary People and the western Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. He also starred in the biographical political thriller All the President's Men, credited with launching his career. It makes sense that he is still producing, directing, and acting in plays today. Ann-Margret has acted and sung her heart out across her 82 years. Even though Ann-Margret was never the recipient of an Academy Award, she was nearly honored twice. Though she didn't win any of the 2 categories, Best Actress in a Leading Role for the fantasy drama Tommy or Best Actress in a Supporting Role for the drama film Carnal Knowledge, she still won 5 Golden Globes over her illustrious career. Even though Ann-Margret has had a fantastic acting career, being in front of the camera is not her sole skill. She was reportedly regarded as the female Elvis Presley in the 1960s, and as a result, the singer put out several records. The fact that one of them was published earlier in 2023 shows the 82-year-old is still capable. Lee Meriwether's pageant win probably feels like a lifetime ago for the 88-year-old. In her 88 years, Lee Meriwether has accomplished much for which she should be proud. She is one of the rare beauty pageant winners to have a solid acting career. After winning the Miss America 1955 competition, Meriwether quickly started landing TV shows one after the other. Eventually, this led to several well-known parts, such as Betty Jones in the detective series Barnaby Jones, for which she was nominated for an Emmy and a Golden Globe. She also started performing lead roles in several films, such as Batman, a 1966 superhero film in which she played Catwoman. To this day, she continues to make sporadic TV appearances and often attends Comic-Cons. William Shatner will always be Captain Kirk to some, even at 92. The fact that William Shatner will be 93 in March 2025 is difficult to fathom. However, the first season of the science fiction television program Star Trek aired over 60 years ago. Though people still think well of Shatner as Captain Kirk, a lot has happened in his life since then. The fact that he periodically brings the persona back to life somehow is helpful. Outside of the Star Trek world, Shatner gained popularity with the police drama T.J. Hooker, the documentary Rescue 911, and his vast discography. The actor created waves in 2021 when he took the Blue Origin NS-18 and became the oldest person to travel into space. James Earl Jones can technically consider himself an EGOT winner at 92. It's hard to imagine that James Earl Jones was born with a stutter when considering all he has accomplished in his previous 92 years. We would never think that talking would be a problem for this man. After all, he did the voices of Darth Vader in the space opera Star Wars trilogy and Mufasa in the cartoon blockbuster The Lion King. Of course, they are just a few of the many parts he has played throughout his career. Emmys, Grammys, and Tony Awards have all been bestowed upon Jones because of his extraordinary abilities. His 2011 Academy Honorary Award made him an EGOT winner. The guy is still acting. He still did voice work and appeared in the romantic comedy Coming to America. Anthony Hopkins continues to showcase his acting talents at 85 years old. You probably won't be surprised to learn which of Anthony Hopkins' 2 Academy Award wins for Best Actor during the last 85 years was for this movie. He won the award for playing Hannibal Lecter in the twisted horror movie The Silence of the Lambs, now regarded as one of the most significant roles in Hollywood history. It makes sense why the British king knighted the guy for his contributions to theater. His years of experience on stage and cinema have left him with an enduring legacy, which he still adds to today. He is now in post-production on numerous other projects and is currently shooting the drama film Freud's Last Session, in which he plays Sigmund Freud. Linda Gray is still making waves on stage and screen at 82. For a very long time, soap operas have been a significant part of American television, but none have ever fully succeeded like Dallas, with its intriguing mystery of Who Shot JR, ranking among the greatest in TV history. It makes sense that Linda Gray, JR's character's wife, garnered much attention on the program. Despite returning to the show several times, Gray has also created a name for herself in other soap operas, including ones performed abroad, and the comedy film Oscar. Her popularity on stage also stems from her portrayal of Mrs. Robinson in The Graduate, which she performed both on Broadway and in the West End. Not bad for an 82-year-old. Christopher Walken is as busy as ever at 80 years old. Their level of financial success only sometimes defines a great performer, but we contend that if your movies have brought in $1.6 billion in the U.S. alone, you must be doing something well. We're not shocked that Christopher Walken's films have been such blockbusters, as the box office statistics for 2022 seem to indicate. Even though Walken is 80 years old, his incredible career has not diminished despite his excellent on-screen presence, which he has contributed to many notable films like the musical rom-com Hairspray, the adventure drama The Jungle Book, and the criminal thriller Pulp Fiction. Considering that he now plays a major part in the science fiction thriller series Severance. Tippi Hedren's legacy over the last 93 years is hard to forget. Tippi Hedren needs never to fear that her legacy will be overlooked, since her granddaughter and daughter are both well-known individuals in their own way. Not to be forgotten is the lady who turned out to be one of Alfred Hitchcock's inspirations, having starred in both the psychological thriller Marty and the horror thriller The Birds, the latter of which earned her a Golden Globe. Tippi was also engaged in the 10-year production of the adventure comedy film Roar, which reportedly resulted in several animal assaults that harmed scores of humans. It's not always the finest thing to leave behind, but her other achievements to film and her charitable work over the last 93 years more than make up for it.
If you've watched the video till here, that means you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications bell icon